Hi Zoe, my name is Biscuit and I'm here to basically inform you what it means to be a juggalette. Now, I'm not absolutely positive whether you're being serious or not. I'm going to take it as you are, but I think there's probably a pretty good chance you're not. Either way, um, I'll tell you right first off, I said it before, I became a juggalette when I was 13 or 14 years old. It was the first time I heard the music. I was probably 11. I didn't fully understand it at the time, obviously. But as I started getting older, I started, relating to the music. It started off as a thing where basically my father absolutely despised it. And it was kind of, I got my jollies off of listening to it because it bothered him. But as I grew up and matured a little bit, I started listening to the music and the meaning behind it. And I started to realize that, being a juggalette is a lot more than wearing an ICP shirt. Um, I started realizing it, after, I guess the first Insane Clown Posse CD I ever owned was Great Malenko. And to this day, I adore that album. Next to after Riddlebox, it's my absolute favorite ICP album. That album, I think if you're just starting off, getting into the Juggalo scene, listen to that album because it'll basically clarify a lot of what ICP is about. It's a lot more of their more serious songs are on that CD. Um, it talks about a lot, like songs like Halls of Illusion and friggin' How Many Times. Those songs basically, they get down to basically you start realizing that Insane Clown Posse isn't this joke band because they never were and they're not. Of course, they have some songs that are joking, like Ned and Game and stuff like that. They're fun. They're fun to listen to. But Insane Clown Posse is very misunderstood. They're a very misunderstood band. And if you're going to listen to them, even be like a mild fan of them, you have to realize, you have to really understand what they're coming at. A lot of their music, it's downplayed a lot. Like, some of it is subtle and some of it is right out there telling you what it is. But it's a lot about heaven and hell. And it's a lot about, what you do in your life really affects where you're going. And juggalos and juggalettes live by that. It's basically, I don't want to make it sound like a cult, but if you consider it a cult, a lot of people consider it a cult. It's a really awesome cult. Um, Basically, juggalos and juggalettes consider themselves each other family, and what that means is, you always have each other's back. And I realized that, after my first show, I go there and basically people are all there. I don't know more than half these people I've never met before in my life, but they're all giving me hugs. They're all talking to me. We're sitting there talking like we've been friends forever and we just met, and it was a really, really, amazing experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Um, I'm proud of who I am. You know, you mentioned that you couldn't be, it doesn't fit you that you're into hip hop because you're a rich white girl. Being a juggalo or juggalette doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have or who your friends are or, where you come from or what your family's like or anything. You can look any way, it doesn't matter. You could be the most beautiful person in the world and be a juggalo or a juggalette. And I think juggalos and juggalettes are some of the most beautiful people in the world, inside and out. But I don't know. From my experience, most juggalos and juggalettes I've met have been very kind, caring people deep down. They look out for their own. And even if you don't like the same kind of music as them, juggalos tend to be the type of people that always, care. Even if it doesn't really concern them, we care. And we try to be good people, and people judge us instantaneously by the music we listen to, but they don't listen to the music is the thing. The music is a big part of being it because of what the music stands for, not so much the lyrics themselves or the bands themselves, but what it stands for. And basically, to me, what ICP stands for is not giving a fuck what anybody thinks. You're gonna say what you want to say, and you're gonna be heard. And even if you're not gonna be heard by the whole world, you're gonna be heard by the people that matter. You know, and those are the fans, and those are the juggalos and juggalettes. And even if, watch any ICP interview, read their book, you know, they basically say that their fans are more than just fans for them. You know, they go to great lengths to please their fans. They put on some of the best concerts imaginable just for their fans. And they're not sellouts, you know, they're not the type of people, you know, they don't really make that much money. It's most of the stuff they do is basically for the fans, not for them. And I respect that greatly. But to answer your question, I guess, you want to know how to be a juggalette. Well, how to be a juggalette is very simple. Okay, you don't need to go to Hot Topic and buy a whole bunch of ICP shirts. You don't need a fucking Hatchet Man necklace. You know, you don't need to dress a certain way. You don't need to paint your fucking face up. To be a juggalette, you have to be somebody who's true to yourself. And if you're gonna listen to the music, you gotta understand it. You can't just say, "Oh, I like ICP. Oh, I love how much they say fuck in their music." No, it's not about that. You have to listen to the music and understand what the fuck they're saying. You know, I appreciate the fact if you're curious and you've seen it as something online or think it's some huge fad that everybody's into. At the high school I went to, there were probably like 4 real juggalos. And, you know, yeah, there's kids every once in a while brandishing an ICP t-shirt. But do they know what the fuck they're talking about? No, they're just wearing it to draw attention to themselves. Being a juggalette is my life. If it's not my whole life, it's a big part of my life. You know, I take great pride in it, and I'm hoping you're not mocking or joking or anything. I'm assuming you're being serious, although you're probably not being serious. I'm answering you as if you're being serious. But I don't know. If you're really trying to become a juggalette, I hope you take some of the things I say to heart and, you know, give it your all. And I promise you that if you become a juggalette and you start going to those shows and listening to the music, it will change you. And for me, I changed for the better. I became a lot better person because, you know, we all want to go to Shangri-La. We all want to go to heaven. And I feel that, you know, the most important thing is in life is earning your spot there. So I hope you take what I say to heart at least a little bit. And if you were just trying to mock juggalettes, I hope that this video helps you change your mind a little bit and realize that we're not goofy, stupid people. We're people with a purpose, and that's what I call it. We're people with a purpose. And not very many people understand what that purpose is. Alright. It's getting late. So I'm probably going to hit the sack any moment now, but yep. Biscuit out.